today we are talking about the Workplace Chronicles. We are here with one of the vivid readers, actually among the first people to buy this book, the first edition, right? Janet. So within the book there is this first topic, youth unemployment. Like youth unemployment is kind of a pandemic on its own. So many youth are graduating into the job market every year, and they are worried, who will employ us? Is it the government? Is it the private sector? Or is it ourselves? And then there is the aspect of social media, the internet, new technology, right? I would say you partly earn your living through social media, right? So, like, what are some of pieces of advice you'd give to someone who is in school, in college, in the university, who is wishing to explore social media and probably make a living from that?
So one thing you need to realize is that unemployment is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's like poverty and the rich and the middle class and what are we in our society. Such makes the balance of the society. And so when you talk about the youth who are in campus and who have already graduated, as much as they're getting into the market, remember, every year we can't say that there are so many people who are retiring from their jobs,
so they can be
able, so that they can be able to pick up the jobs. So we have to be innovative in a way. We have to be free, to be creative, at the same time try out the new opportunities that are there. I'm a journalist by profession, but here I am as a social media marketer. But it doesn't mean that I can't still become a journalist that I wanted to be. But I chose to change my profession because I felt like this is somewhere I have an opportunity. I can create myself and be able to build and gain something out of the space.
So first you looked at the opportunity.
The opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't look at who you were at the time you started.
Opportunity is everything.
Okay.
And that's why I said that there are so many people who graduated as engineers,
yes,
but now they're doing something which is not much prominent, but they're gaining a lot.
They're earning.
So it's that opportunity you see, and it doesn't mean that going for something you don't know that you will fail. Just take time to learn, and learning is the best thing. Of course, not forgetting, in our current world, it's not all about your certificate. It's not all about your efforts too or your skills, but also the network you have.
Okay.
How many people do ask you, kindly refer me to somebody who can be able to take up this job?
To edit a video, to write a blog.
Why do they do that?
Yeah.
They value your connection. They know that you're going to give them somebody who is not going to fail you, because at the same time you're creating your name.
Okay.
You want to give them.
So that is the power of network, right? Yes. And social media on its own is a network. So many people are not always patient with social media. You find that you post your content online, and then no one likes, no one comments.
The goal shouldn't be about just being a media, like the mainstream media where you just post or you share a newspaper and you expect people to buy and read.
Yeah.
Social media is different, and that's why we constantly talk about engagement and networking. Because if I engage you, I expect you to respond, and I also give my audience an opportunity to react to that content. You can have a wonderful piece of content, but if you look yourself as a media house or as a newspaper, you're not going anywhere. You will have the best content, but nobody will like. So how can you leverage on people who have already grown, who have the influence, at the same time who are in your area of expertise? And that's why on social media we focus more on communities. Social media is a community, but it's a larger community. If it's Twitter is a very huge community, but in it there are so many tiny communities. Why are you not part of them? Because when you belong, people don't want to leave you behind, because you want to grow together.
Yeah, true. Now you've talked about not wanting to be like a mainstream media, right? Now, if you look, for example, the business of fashion, go to Facebook. Everyone is selling clothes. Everyone is selling shoes. Uh, so, what is your take? Like, do you think that has created like a little bit of opportunity, or is it even sustainable?
It's sustainable when you focus on the right channels on how you can create your content. This is what I mean. How many times have you gone on Facebook to see what are people talking about specific shoe you saw so that you can buy it? Many times.
Many times
You
on
see?
Kilimani Mams.
So it doesn't matter how many people are going to be sellers, how many people are going to start shops on the same. The question is, how can they convince us using the already customers they have? How can we get their authenticity, their trust? At the same time, how can we believe in what they do?
Okay.
So you can have the best dress, but if nobody is going to talk about you, out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, okay. Within the book, I've suggested a number of ways through which the youth can use internet and social media, like to kind of try and create employment for themselves.
Okay.
You know, and one of the major things online is about the portfolio. Like, what would you tell a youth who is willing to start or who is hoping to one day build a portfolio online for future engagements or employment?
One thing is, don't be everywhere.
Okay.
That's what has really helped me all through. I started not knowing where to as in, I wanted to learn digital marketing, but I didn't know exactly which category should I choose. But I had to be part of the communities to know what I like.
So let me just understand one thing. By everywhere, you mean
Don't do everything.
Or don't do
Choose
everything.
one thing you feel like this is what I can be comfortable with.
Okay.
And if you haven't chosen first, go to Google, search,
Okay.
ask people around what are they doing, how can they explain to you what is influencer marketing, what is how do you go about marketing the beer industry, the alcohol industry, the fashion industry, so that you can know if you're really interested in building such a brand.
Okay.
At the same time, remember, you're not creating this brand only for you. You're creating for people who are going to gain value from you, who are going to...
From your products and services.
Exactly. Your products, your services, your content, your knowledge, everything. Okay. So you need to choose something you're comfortable and something that it's not too much. You know, do you know why most of the time you feel like some celebrities have lost their value? Because they are doing a lot of things, and then you keep on wondering, okay, so umekuwa soko yenye inauza kila kitu, umekuwa Gikomba.
By the way.
So when somebody is useme mimi ni baba, mimi nina own barber shop, and I can constantly talk about things around that, I can easily create trust with my people, and it can be the influencers, the audience, and
so you are
customers.
talking about the consistency.
Niche
And
then consistency. And then from the consistency, constantly look at how can you grow. Of course, not forgetting you have to think about the social media trends, how people are coping and the behaviors of the people, the customers and your audiences. At the same time, look at what other things can you give to your brand, not only talking about what you are niching. As in, for instance, I'm a social media marketer. I do influencer marketing for specific brands. Okay. But what other things am I related to? I'm a human being. I'm not just that social media marketer.
Yeah,
what can I do beyond that?
Yeah.
And whatever that I'm involved in, remember, I have to constantly look at if I can create my first audience as this. The second group of audience should be like this. They are related to the first one, but not too attached. Okay. The third, the same. So that at the end of the day, I'm not having people who expect me to post beer when they know very well
that you don't do that. Okay, that was perfect. So you've read this book and you've gone through the first chapter, that is youth unemployment. You see, like right now, so many people, especially at the level where you are, like I would say mostly you don't submit your CVs for jobs. you get referred, like, I'm looking for someone who can do this and
True.
that. And then people say, no, I know Janet, right? So to get to that level, to a level where your portfolio speaks for you, I know there are so many challenges that are involved.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing some of the challenges, like when you are starting?
Wow, I think I got the right people, so I don't think I have a lot of challenges that I can share.
Starting,
But
like
starting,
yeah.
starting, I had the right people around
Okay,
me.
still.
That's one thing. But for people who feel like it's very hard for them to go about that, these are some of the tips that I have to share with you so that you can use them. One, look for the right people. And for the right people, I don't mean that people are doing the same thing. No. People who can constantly support you in what you do, who can criticize you, who can correct you, at the same time, who can do it with a lot of love, because they want to see you grow, they want to see you become better.
Okay.
Something else is give value. As much as you want to make money, as much as you are in for the business, look at it on what greater value can I gain from this person and can I give, instead of looking at how much am I going to gain.
All right.
Value is not about money alone. There's a lot. There's a network you can gain from somebody.
Yeah,
There is
true.
knowledge you can gain from someone. There is a referral too you can gain from someone. How can you leverage that?
Okay.
Another thing, look at the communities that are around you. And if you are starting, actually communities is where you're supposed to be. It's the same thing when you're having a boyfriend or you're going to your first date. You want to share that best. You want to connect with somebody. You want to tell somebody about your friends, your
Yeah,
family,
I know,
those
I
close
know.
things. That's the same thing you should think about.
I know. I remember back home when a lady was married. Actually, that
It was a
first
communal.
week, was the
It was a communal
that was the
thing.
time she would behave the best of
Oh,
her
so you're
life.
talking about
Yeah,
behavior.
behavior, just to try and attract people, get recommendations, right?
But now I'm looking at it from the point where you have to involve other people around you.
Alright.
It's a communal thing.
Yeah, sure.
Don't look at it as a one-man thing.
Or like,
when people say, I am self-made, there's nothing like self-made.
By
You
the
have
way.
to have people around you. You have to have somebody to correct you, somebody to back you up, somebody to see an opportunity in
compliment.
you and complement your efforts. So for instance, right now you're not working alone as much as you are.
this
book.
book, yeah.
There are people around you. The people want to see you shine.
Yeah.
And maybe your face is lighting
Yeah.
because some technique. There's someone behind you.
I can see them.
So that's what
That
I
is
mean.
true. Yeah, that is true. So, like, what does it take, like, to tell that this is the right person?
It's their effort.
Okay.
One, you are the one who chooses your own friends. You can tell your own friends, you can tell who is a good friend and who is a bad friend. How? You are human. You have instincts. Psychology is working. Your brains, everything, your feelings, your emotion. You can tell if somebody is genuine or not.
Or not.
And then you can choose. So you can't teach somebody, go follow this person, or we
Oh,
just
yeah.
recommend. But at the end of the day, it's your choice.
In your team, there should be people who compliment, right?
And you support each other.
Yeah,
actually.
of course,
Should be.
all of them are compliments, but there is that one person who should be criticizing.
All of them can criticize
Okay.
you, but first create the friendship, the emotional friendship, the psychological. It depends on how you can.
The human
The
friendship,
human friendship.
mutual.
So that as much as you can feel bad if they correct you, it won't take a long time.
Okay.
You take time, yes, you'll feel bad, but at the end of the day, you'll be like, I like the way you put it.
Okay. Now that you've read this book and you know the value of creating a portfolio, because so many people say that nowadays you graduate, you go to ask for a job, then you are asked for 5 years or 3 years of experience.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone, like, how can you use social media right from first year to the final year to create your work experience?
One thing,
Like, can you volunteer using social media?
we think about the following. We think about sharing our There are other lives that we don't need really to show social media, but we leverage on it to grow our following, and
Yeah.
then we now think about later to transition. It becomes very hard because you've already created a
To
certain
transition
type.
from sharing personal content.
Not really personal content. There's some things when you're in campus you just want to enjoy life,
Oh yeah.
and you keep on sharing, enjoying life, and so
Yeah,
maybe you attract the same people to
Oh,
your
Naivasha
platform.
manenos, eh?
I don't want to talk about that. So at the end of the day, then when you realize I need to change the way my profile looks, my content looks, my audience, it becomes very hard because people
even too
have
late,
already known who you are. So it becomes hard to transition to that. But if you can get somebody to help you to package at a tender age when you're on social media, it can really help you. Personally, I think I looked up to my brother so much what he was posting on social media, and because he was elder and the way he can do it, I knew what I wanted at the end of the day. Plus, I know what I want.
Okay.
And I know what I want people to know about me. So I can't put everything there. That's why it's easier for me to to differentiate what's my personal life or what gains more value or visibility on social media and what doesn't. So that's what they should think about.
Okay.
How can you start building your story, and this story should tell something about you,
Okay.
can create that connection with people, so that by the time you choose now to do it in a professional way, it will be easier for you. By then you would have already connected with the right people. By then you would have already created an audience that understands what you want to do.
All right. So you've talked about your brother, right? Someone you looked up to. And Janet, as we talk right now on Twitter, you have a blue tick. And you know what it takes to have that tick on your Twitter handle at Janet Machuka, right? So what are your plans like? You as someone who has seen the wonders that social media can do to someone from their first years of university to the final years, and even to in real life situation, because we said you earn partly from social media, right? What are your plans for people who are struggling with the patience, with the content, with the
Okay. One thing you have to know, we can't be all successful on social media.
Okay.
There are some who will be top layer, there are some who will be in the middle,
I know,
and there
I
are some
know.
who will be down here. But they might, maybe the ones below, they might be doing the best they can, or they're doing much better than the ones on the top. But that's life. So don't expect that everyone will be successful. Even
social media.
Not even on social media, even the society.
In real life situation.
In real life situation, we need to have those
kuna watu wako
boundaries.
waliduni na kuna watu wameomoka.
Sikupenda kwao,
I know,
but that's life.
I know,
It's
yeah.
the same thing as social
Even
media.
our fingers are never the same.
I like that. So it's the same thing on social media. As much as you'll want to see the best out of what you're doing, what the kind of content you're creating, the efforts you're adding into, we can't all be celebrities.
Yeah.
That's why we have celebrities. We can't all be politicians. That's why we have politicians. We can't all be digital marketers and trainers.
Okay.
Because there are few who can do that, and that's why that's what I really want to tell the youth out there. It doesn't mean that being on social media you must be successful, but how can you even leverage on that few networks you have, and then pull them on the offline, even build a business outside.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it must be on social media.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And now, this is my book, Workplace Chronicles, and you're among the first people who bought it. What would you tell to that person who has never had a chance to buy or read this book?
This actually works best for the young people who are getting into the market, especially the workplace. And most of them might have already set some standards of each and every kind of workplace they want to go. But it's not the case. Most of the time we set standards, but some things change.
You go there, you find reality.
You find reality is totally different. So be open, be open-minded. And as you read the book, make sure that you have opened up.
Okay.
As much as they're talking about the mental health, we're talking about the unemployment. These are some of the challenges you should not think about not expecting, but expect them. Because these are the things that have shaped some of us. These are the things that have been able to make us adapt at the same time, not only to the company cultures, but also to the changes in the business world, in the marketing world,
in the labor industry.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me in regards to my writing career, the book, or even my personal life?
Firstly, congratulations for your book.
Thank you.
Secondly, so now I have the hard copy.
Okay.
I have read it. Then what? What's your way forward from here?
If you look at the nature of readership or the new normal of doing things, things are being transitioned from hard to soft, right? That is why we have so many platforms nowadays, like they sell things online. So my goal with the book is to transition the book from a hard copy to a soft copy, and to at least try and get it on as many platforms as possible where people can easily access it, and to also talk about the content on as many soft platforms as possible, for example podcasts. Yep.
That's it. I like it because currently the world and everything, how it happens and how it's going, we want to do very many things at the same time. We want to drive as we listen. We want to, if you customize it earlier, it will be an advantage to you. Because as much as people can read books, not so many people have that time. Especially the fact that this book is for the youth.
Okay.
They don't have that time. They're still looking for that employment. They are trying to grow their portfolios, as you said, and you have given the tips. But now, can you make it easier for them to capture that within a very short time? And audio, I think it can do very well. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the compliment and for your time. Anything?
I really do appreciate it.
Okay.
Looking forward to reading your second book.
Okay.
And hopefully this time round we are not going to launch a hard copy. You're going online.
Okay.
Perfect.
Give me the best platform to do that.
We love podcasts.
All right.
And that's why even on social media they are transitioning to spaces and Clubhouse, for instance, and Twitter spaces where people can join in as a radio and listen. So radio is not going anywhere because the voice speaks a lot.
Okay.
Video,
and even mainstream medias are trying to go the social media way, right?
Not even they are trying. They are on social media. Yeah.
Sawa sawa. Thank you so much, Janet, for your time.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.